Well, there you have it. The intro video for the final time for Formula 2. Hello everyone. As you can see on your title, it is race week 14 of season 4 for Formula 2. The final race week of Formula 2 ever, really. Don't think that has anything to do with that, but yeah. I hope everyone is having a good Wednesday here. Thank you for tuning in. I'm hoping I can make your Wednesday evening a little bit better. I am Crash Queen. We're the Midwest F1 League, and we've got some exciting F2 action for you this evening. Constructors is all wrapped up. Drivers is all wrapped up. The whole kit and caboodle is virtually all wrapped up except for one race left, or one Grand Prix weekend night. We're going to Jeddah. First time in Jeddah for Formula 2. First time in Jeddah for Midwest. So we're gonna see how it plays out here. This is our first look. Of course, Jeddah was just brought into the game a couple weeks ago, so new to us and new to a lot of people. Is potentially maybe a lot of drivers' first time racing at Jeddah competitively, other than just for time trials and maybe even a computer race or whatnot. So it's going to be fun. My first time seeing Jeddah being raced at. I knew what I was in for a little bit with MLI. I knew what I was in for a little bit with Portimao. But Jeddah is kind of similar to Vietnam, where it's one of those tracks that I guess is similar to last year with Zandvoort. But I mean, it was more of just a proper track, where this is a street circuit, similar to what I mean with Vietnam, where you just don't know what you're going to get. I mean, it's a racetrack, and we're coming here to race, so I'm expecting to see that. But, what will the racing be like? Now that is the true question, and we're going to find that out fairly soon here. Game lobby is just about to get underway. We are entering our final time here in F2 series. So we've got 13 drivers for you this evening, and we'll see what they can do in these F2 cars. Now here the F2 cars a little difficult on the Jeddah circuit, so we'll see if that is true. Guess I still got a second here, so this is the last week of season 4, so be sure to tune in tomorrow and catch the finale for the Constructors Championship of Division 1. Mystic Joker has wrapped it all up for the driver's side of all, but the relegation battle still very much underway. We have Scuba Steve and Young DJ CJ still duking it out to stay in Division 1, so we'll have to keep a close eye on that, as well as Alfa Romeo and Ferrari are still battling it out for the Drivers' Championship. Alfa Romeo has held the lead for a good portion of the year, if not the whole year, and Ferrari has just stayed so very close and hasn't quite let go the entire time. So something to tune in for tomorrow, so hopefully you do, and hopefully you can see myself back tomorrow alongside Elma Jacko. But we're gonna... Who shall we stay on? Well, not VTech, because he goes invalid. Oh, I hear that's a glitch, isn't it? Turn 2? I need to read the announcement. We got Big Pack here. Let's see what Big Pack can do. As we swing our way through the first sector. My track map is upside down to theirs, so that'll be fun to navigate. But yeah, 27 total turns, man. That is nuts. It's just a little squiggle the whole way. Get right on board and see what Jeddah looks like in the night. I've only ever done time trials in the day, so this is kind of different for me. Pack sitting in second, third right now, kind of tussling along with Super Nina as Jin leads us. Jose Miguel 4th, JCast 5th, Jacko 6th, Will 7th, Nikki 8th, Knuckles 9th, ZGS 10th, Hotspot 11th, Jacer Nacer, and then VTech around in the back of the pack. Pack's hitting this fairly cleanly, looking like he's gotten a little bit of time into this track. A lot of very clean lines here, and we're going to come to the final turn of the entire track. That being turn 27, I'd imagine that will be a big overtaking zone. But two cars can't really go into that final little kink of that turn there, so we'll see how that plays out in the race. But Pac does fairly well going third, with Jose Miguel just behind him, JCast fifth, Jacko's sixth. Jin on the top step, half a second ahead of the man alongside him, Super Ninas. And then we go 7th, 8th, 9th, 10 will be Nikki, Willans, Knuckles, and ZGS is coming over the line. Alright, well there you go. DNFs, or disqualifications, go to Hotspot, VTech, and Jacer and Acer. But yes, if this is your first time tuning into the stream, be sure to shoot us a follow, and then you can catch all of your Midwest races. But right now, we're going to go down to potentially just one. I may have something that works, but we'll see. We will see, we will see. But yes, Thursday night 100%, that'll never end. I don't know, even if, I think the only time that that'll end is if Pork Chops rolls over, and even then there'll probably be this league based to tribute around him. So yeah, I don't think I'm kind of locked in for life on this one, so we'll see. But yes, anywho, if you're having a good time with the Midwest F1 League, be sure to shoot us a follow. We very much appreciate it. Just waiting for everyone to finalize everything, then we can get right into the feature race. I didn't catch how many laps there were. I should have. I think it was like 20 something and then 13 or 14. So we'll see if that is true. But yeah, like I said, Constructors Championship wrapped up, Drivers Championship wrapped up. This is just for one last hurrah of the F2 series. Alright, here we go. We have 5 red lights for the first / the second last time ever in the F2 series. And they go out, and we are rushing our way into turn 1. Super Ninas looks like he gets the lead on Jen, but then Ninas goes very wide around turn 2. And he's under pressure here for second place even. Jose Miguel looking to actually sneak up into the lead. Jin's already dropped down to 4th. And then a little bit of contact with Super Ninas there, and he spins out in a really difficult spot. is able to avoid all the drivers going past, but he's going to drop down to 13th. And that is not what you want to see right out of the gate. Jin, also not what you want to see right out of the gate. Back down into 3rd. And on a street circuit with 3 DRS zones, we'll see how this one plays out and if he's going to be able to make his way through the field fairly easily. Will Ans looks like he found a little bit himself into some difficult times as well. Drops back all the way into 12th. Knuckles holding on to 8th and very close on the back of El Majacco. Quickly, the position changes are with Hotspot moving up 6 and Jose Miguel launching from 4th to 1st before the first half of the first lap is even done. There you go. Jin's going to put some pressure on Big Pack here. Actually backs out. Doesn't feel confident going in there. And is going to set himself up with a really good run. And looks like he's got him here out of turn 25. He's going to try and send it around the outside of turn 26, but Big Pac hugs the inside of the wall. And Jin can't quite get around him and dive down the inside of turn 27. Hotspot does that on JCast, and even on those mediums, Hotspot gets a good launch out in the final turn. He's got 4th place on JCast. He's looking to have himself a good race. Already moving up 7 positions from race start. JCast is going to try and come back at him here. Hotspot's got the defense on the inside line here into turn 1, and enough room is given, and JCast goes around the outside and does it down the inside line through turn 2. So well done by JCast there, fighting for his position back. Nicky not wanting to let Jacko get too far ahead. Nicky choosing the mediums here, while Jacko going with the mediums as well. Is everyone? Let's look at the tires here. So it is just the softs and mediums for the F2 cars. Jacer Nacer getting Knuckles, and that's because Knuckles is nosedived into the wall. Sniffing pain he is. And here we go. Nicky looking like he's going to come at Jacko here, and yeah, he does. He's got the inside line. He's going to force Jacko to go all the way around the outside. And Jacko there, yeah, you can see on the left end plate there, he's got some damage. He's missing that actually, more than just a little damage. He's missing it entirely, and these two are going to go wheel to wheel through the slalom here in sector 2. And Jacko wins out. Nicky loses a little bit of time there. Now Jacer Nacer is going to see the gap and slip right through. Jacer up into 7th. And Knuckles continually finding a little bit of difficulties back in sector 2 there. The rest of the field is working their way through the DRS straight, and we're nearly going to have our very first here in Jeddah coming up as we are on to lap 3. And there you go, Nicky going around the outside on Jacer Nacer trying to get that position back. And these two are going to fight it out wheel to wheel again. Here we go. Nicky looking for the slipstream help of Jacko, but can't quite get it. Jin it to win it, and I didn't even notice that. Got past Big Pack and then gets past Jose Miguel even before the aid of DRS. So not finding too much difficulties there is Jin. And Jin getting an early 3-second time penalty. You just caught his tire just going off the outside of the white line there, and finds himself with a 3-second penalty, and as well does Hotspot. And Will Ann says, "Hey guys, wait for me, I would like one as well." Super Ninas getting VTEC there, trying to find himself back up the order here in 9th after spinning out. Knuckles spun helped out as Super Ninas get a position back. Nicky spin there, that sure made it easy, but dangerous a little bit. And then Supers had to overtake Will Ans and VTEC, but I believe Will Ans has a little bit of damage. And ZGS is, no, he seems to be running with a clean wing. So it looks like he just got overtaken cleanly there. But Super's going to try and close the gap to Jacer Nacer, who's trying to close the gap to El Majacco. At one point, these drivers had Nicky in this little battle here, and was at one point a trio, but now it's gotten down to a duo. But Super Ninas is trying to create that trio once again, just sitting a second outside of these two drivers here. But yes, I'll reiterate, if you just stopping by on the Midwest F1 stream for the very first time, be sure to shoot us a follow. We very much appreciate it. This is the final race in F2 history for Midwest, as we are giving it up, and we are just focusing our full attention on Thursday. At one point when we had not 6 divisions, we could very much find the time for this, and we've ended up having to delegate it to other people to do so, and we are just bringing it to a close. So if you're still interested in F2, those same people who are running this one will be running another one in a separate Discord, so by all means go join them and enjoy yourself in the F2. And here we go, Super Ninas and Jacer Nacer are going wheel to wheel here. Ninas down the inside line, Jacer's going to fight this one out. And you can get a really good launch out of the around the outside line there, but it looks like Super just gets the overtake done cleanly. Now he's going to try and work on El Majaco. And let's not forget that Jacko is slightly wounded. And Ninas wants to get this done real quick. These two are flying in, and Ninas forces Jacko into a really awkward racing line, and that was quite rude. And now he gets the overtake on Jacko and DRS, and Jacko will slowly fade back from Ninas, like I said, with that wing damage. And now Jacer Nacer is going to come at Jacko. But is Jacko going to try and fight down? Yes, he does. Breaks down the inside line of turn 27, forces Jacer Nacer into fighting this, and they're going to duke this battle all the way out through turn 1 and 2, and we'll see if Jacer Nacer has the advantage there. We saw a couple laps ago the driver with the outside line in turn 1 had it through turn 2, and there was the line there, but Jacko did a good job of sending it around the outside through turn 2 and holds on to 7th place. Super Ninas clears both drivers and is now going to try and close that 5.5 second gap to J-Cast ahead. Big Pack picking up a 3-second time penalty as well. Jin finds himself with 6 seconds worth of penalties, and Jose Miguel is only 1.5 seconds back of Mr. Jin. Jacer picking up a penalty as well. That's a lot of corners to memorize. It's going to take me a long time. That was a pretty damn good camera angle. I will give it to you, Codemasters, on that one. But here we go. Jacer's going to try his luck again on Jacko. And Jacko's actually just going to bomb into the pits. And he's on medium tire compound right now, so I think he just feels like he just doesn't have the pace with that damaged wing. So he's going to get a new wing, and he's going to get a fresh set of softs to try and ride out for the rest of this race. But everything has seemed to quite open up here. VTech is actually making a little bit of headway on Jacer Nacer. It's a little bit mesmerizing. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, they're fast turns, but they're also, and VTech's not doing a bad job here. They're fast, but they're also fairly smooth. A lot of these turns. I mean, okay, now this is still my first look at actually viewing something, and you know what? It's not that bad right now. At viewing Jeddah, not just something, sorry, Jeddah, but it's not looking too bad. Will Ans and Nicky here, and Will Ans is going to force Nicky fairly close to the wall. And now Nicky's going to try and send it around the outside, and he's going to get the car fully ahead. And up into 11th place goes Nicky after that spin. Now finds himself on the quicker of tire compound between himself and Will Ans. And Will's going to try and come back here. Dives down the inside line of turn 1. And a little bit of contact there. And Nicky's going to hold out. But Will's not going to let this one die. And he's going to shoot down the inside line. Nicky has to go right off course. And nearly finds himself into one of the many of barricades. Man, that must take a long time to put up all those walls. So here we go. Ninas has closed that gap to JCast here after that unfortunate situation in the early stages of this race. Onto the seventh lap with this soft compound tire that he started the race with. Him, along with Jacer Nacer, VTech, JCast, Big Pac, Jose Miguel, and Jin have all started with the softs and should be coming into the pit sometime soon. Ooh, and just push the limits a little too far. That's not what you want to see. Unfortunate stuff there. Continuing our slalom here. I guess the slalom never really ends, does it here? I guess this is kind of an end to the slalom. Yeah. Alright, okay, so the last little bit and the first little bit are slalom list. And yes, we do see some drivers into the pit. Hotspot going into the pit, 8 laps deep on those mediums. He's going to split the race in half and take the rest of the race with the softs. Same with the other drivers. Now we'll see what Hotspot can do, having the quicker tire compound in the bank. And now with Jin picking up hella penalties, Jose Miguel is right now in line for the win, but he's still got to keep close enough to Jin to get a said win. But let us not count out Hotspot, but Hotspot does have penalties. Okay, and VTech just picked up one on top as well. But yes, Jose Miguel is the main man who can bring Jin down this race, but Jin is above and beyond the quickest guy on the track. There's Jose Miguel into the pit. There's a car spun out. And Nicky once again and picks up a penalty for a severe collision with Jacko on top. Now, tonight, the Midwest Jeddah lap record will be set, technically. So, it will only stand for one night, because as soon as the F1 cars come out, then it'll be smashed to bits. But, it is being set tonight, and what is it actually set at right now? Jin has it currently set at a 141.431. And what was I saying, 20 laps for the future? This is only 14 laps. I never even caught on to my stupidity. Taking it nice and easy is Jacko. This is a very difficult track on a controller, so I heard the advantage is for sure on the wheel this one. So Jose Miguel pitted earlier than Jin for the mediums. Both of them rode them pretty long. I'm not sure what happened with the battle of Super Ninas and JCast, but JCast finds himself 12 seconds back of Ninas. Both with the same amount of penalties, so I'm not sure exactly what took place there. But Jin, as you can see, is making his way out of the pit. You can't quite see him on your screen right now, but he is on the mini-map there, coming around turn 3. Turn 4, actually, sorry. Jose Miguel nearly losing it there. But Jin still holding at 9 seconds worth of penalties here. Jose Miguel still technically with the win. Gotta keep it within a second now to Jin. Or sorry, gotta keep it within 9 seconds to Jin if Jose Miguel would like a win. But Jin is pumping in some really solid times here. And I'd like to see if he's going to go for fastest lap next time around. Go. We'll see what Jin can do. The rest of the field is fairly spread out. ZGS is the only one close to Will. And I'll wait until they come around into the DRS zone before I switch over. We'll see what Jin's sector split is. Okay, currently up on his time. We've got a three-way battle here into turn 27. Very close between these three cars. It looks like Will and Nicky are in the same car, but they're not. And here we go. Will's just in the back. Wants to make a move. And yeah, can't quite. Nicky made a very late move and brakes extremely deep. And Will nearly gets the back of Nicky, and then Will splits the difference. And then jumps up into 10th. ZGS back into 11th, and Nicky getting the worst end of the whole deal. Finds himself back into 12th. I don't think we're going to see the last of this. ZGS did drop down into 11th. Does have the quicker tire compound. Will's got a lot of work ahead of him to keep ZGS behind him. And same with a hungry Nicky here. The short little DRS section is going to help out ZGS. Zed might be able to jump down and thought about it but couldn't quite get it. Here we got Jin coming over the line here and does improve on the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Really finding some solid form, and that gap between himself and Jose is now at 9.4, but Jin did get another penalty, so now he's got to add another 2.7 seconds onto this gap. And ZGS gets overtaken by Nicky as well. Now he does not have any penalties, so he will get the overtake on these two drivers at the end of the whole race, but still, I imagine he'd like to get it done the good old-fashioned way. Jose Miguel picking up a penalty, so that's brought that gap back down to 9 seconds. So Jin does now have the win with Jose getting that penalty. Only two drivers not getting a penalty in this race, that being Jacko and ZGS. Will Ans and Nicky are battling it out. And Nicky once again dropping back into 11th. Will Ans taking 10th, and ZGS did actually have 11th for a second there, but Nicky sends her. Oh, and then ZGS is very much into the barrier. But he just skips right off, I guess, and he's back onto the track. We're on lap 13. Jin is already in through sector 3 here. Once again, quicker than his lap before. Looking to set another fastest lap. And there you go, over the line, and then yes, he does take another fastest lap in this race. 141.042 was it? 020. So Hotspot nearly within a second to Big Pack here. This is the last lap for him. We've got to try and close that gap. Nicky really close to Will Ans. These two are very tight this whole race here. These guys still have one more full lap to go. Hotspot has just got within a second. Nicky's going to go all the way around the outside, and then we hit the braking point of turn 27. Nicky's going to try and stick this one out. Does a good job right alongside the wall, but Will gets a really good run out of turn 27. ZGS is back into the party, and Hotspot is really close onto the back of Big Pack for the final podium position. Here we go. This is going to be the last true opportunity for Hotspot here. Jin is going to come over the line for the win. Jose Miguel should come over second, with third place is still undecided. And Hotspot needs a really good run on the final turn, and he did get a pretty good one into the slipstream, and he's going to drag Pac out, and it's going to be third for Pac by a couple of meters. Super Ninas comes over 5th, and then we'll drop back into this battle for the top 10 here once again. ZGS watching the two drivers ahead duke it out, and he just needs to time a good launch out of turn 23 and 24, and he might be able to bring himself back into the battle here. He did pick up a penalty, so that really hurts him, but these two drivers ahead do have lots of penalties. Will Ans drops a position back to Nicky. These guys are going to fight it out right around the final corner. And now ZGS is going to be able to overtake these guys at the end of it all, but the two ahead want to drag it out. And okay. That was pretty good. Yeah, definitely. Not too bad. Tuned in on the final one there, OG. It's the last F2 race in Midwest history. I guess that was a feature, but I don't know if you've been here from the beginning. Bro, in the party, there's an R2-D2 scream. Bacon, you're on something, dude. Are you even racing? There you can see it. The win goes to Jeddah to win it. Jose Miguel second, Big Pack third, Hotspot fourth, Super Ninas fifth. JCast 6th, Jacer Nacer 7th, VTech 8th, Jacko 9th, ZGS 10th. Nikki, Will Ans, and Knuckles will finish it off. Bro, in the party there's an R2. I don't know what you're talking about there, Bacon. But F2 has kind of turned into kind of a little bit of a headache for the league. So we've constantly delegated it to other people that wanted to keep it going, but now we're just saying that we don't really want any affiliation with it. So we're kind of just letting it go, letting it die. There's a lot of talks to end it last season, and then people were like, no, keep it going, and then okay, we kept it going, and then it's just like, okay, well, this is still a big headache, and then like, okay, we'll see how this season goes, and it's like, okay, no, this is just, that's it, that's all. So right now we're just sitting at only Thursdays, but I might have something in the works to try and do some more racing, but we'll see. We will see. Not exactly sure quite yet. I've got an idea. I kind of wanna implement it, because I really think that this league needs to have 2 nights of racing, and because there's a lot of guys that do like to do 2 nights of racing through us. So I'm gonna see who's interested, see what I can do, and maybe. But here we go. Whoa. Completely lost my voice for a second there. On to the final sprint race of F2 history. First lap of 10, and we'll see how this one plays out. Jacer Nacer has the lead through turn 1. VTech fighting out JCast. JCast having to cut a little bit of turn 2, and then gets pushed right to the exit of turn 3. Hotspot wanting a position back right away, and he jumps up, and someone ran over a little bit of a curb there, and their car was quite bouncy. And Super Ninas and Whoa! Okay. I don't know what he hit, but that was kind of cool. Not too bad, Ninas. Not too bad. He got some air. There we go. We'll continue on here. Still on lap 1. A lot of exciting things can still happen. Big Pack and Jin are very tight onto each other. Jin should break away here. Hotspot already up in 3rd. VTech finding a little bit of difficulties. Jose Miguel overtaking JCast. Full of Latin America counterparts there. Jin as well getting JCast. JCast no slouch. Just shows the sheer pace of Jin. And JCast looking to come back at Jin here. And yes, he is. He's going to send it back down the inside, but a little bit too over ambitious of a move. And there we go, a little bit of contact there as well. And now Nikki is out of the session. And Knuckles is in the wall. Oh. JCast is still alive. These drivers are collecting themselves up, and a VSC is deployed. Now, Hotspot's going to want to try and overtake VTech and Jacer Nacer real quick and try and open as much of a gap as he can on Jin so that he can just attempt to break as far up the road as he possibly can, because Jin's just been on another level this evening, so the farther he can get away, the better. Obviously, that's usually how racing tends to work, but it actually has to be done, and then it has to be completed entirely with the game plan. So we'll see how that one plays out. We're on board with Hotspot, and he is working on VTech. He's going to get a good run here, and VTech's going to be already under pressure, and Hotspot's going to try and send it around the outside line here, and the outside line can have some really good traction on the exit here, and we'll see if Hotspot's able to reach down and get that, and it looks like he does. He sends it around the outside on VTech and then cuts him off through the next, well, doesn't cut him off, puts the car ahead through the turns following and up into second place now. And now Jin's got to overtake VTech, so now Hotspot's got to try and clear Jacer and Nacer. We have 3 drivers out. Jose Miguel is actually out here. Yeah, he's in the wall. And now Jin is already trying to get the overtake on VTech, but VTech showing some straight line prowess here and breaks far earlier than Jin. So now Jin is only behind Hotspot, and Hotspot is only behind Jacer Nacer. The podium right now should try and break away here. DRS is available. Jin has set the fastest lap, not the fastest overall, because the quickest one in the little race before was a 141.020, if my memory serves me correctly. And now Hotspot very much battling it out for first place here on Jacer Nacer, forcing Jacer into a tighter line, and then he switches him back in a very peculiar spot here. And now we're in a very tight area for wheel-to-wheel racing here, but Hotspot doing a very lovely job getting it done. Jacer Nacer going up, off, and that should be a warning. And now Jin is going to try and overtake Jacer Nacer as well, and Hotspot may have overtaken. Oh no, he's okay. I was going to say he may have overtaken in a bad spot with DRS to follow, but it seems like he's okay. Jin sending it way deep on the outside line, getting a very good launch, and through another car here. Jacer's got to back out and just says screw that turn. Uh-oh, an ad, you know what that means. Money, money, money. Oh, I do know what that means. Oh, you know what that means for me as well. Dun, 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 dun. Let's pull that up. Oh, what? I've missed 2 months. Shoot. There we go. I'll make up for it. Hey, I have gifted far more subs than you have pork chops, so you can't come at me. That is true. It is true. We're on lap 4 here. Hotspot has been overtaken by Jin, and Hotspot's going to do his best to keep up with Jin, but Jin is just an absolute piss missile here, so I don't think, with all due respect to Hotspot here, and with all due respect to 99.9% of the population, I don't think you'll be able to keep up with that man in first. He is on a different wavelength than everyone else. He's eating peanut butter while everyone's eating jelly. He is in a slipstream of his own, as if there's a car ahead of him that is guiding him through these corners and giving him extra pace throughout the entire straights. Now that is not happening, but it seems it's as if it is. And no move there on VTech. Jacer Nacer still sitting in 4th place after actually being overtaken by VTech at some point there. I was completely distracted, I must say. Jin once again going with the fastest lap in this race, 140.605, and Jacer looking down the inside line of VTech. VTech, being the honorable man he is, giving the room for Jacer, but Jacer says, no thank you, that is not quite enough room for me. And yeah, he's a quick guy. But he loves his penalties, and he picks up one there. Pork Chop's gonna test for that. That's all Jin is just. If Jin could just tidy up those penalties, man. Oh my goodness gracious. Tidy up the penalties and tidy up the spins. Like, he is a true. Oh, whoa, big pack. Came out of absolutely nowhere. And tosses the car around the outside line of turn 13. And now Jacer Nacer getting overtaken by Big Pack and finds himself back in 5th place. A spun car that looks like it is Will Ann's around turn 13 as well. But would he be fast without the pens? He'd be pretty freaking damn close though. Because, like, how much does the pen save him? Because if you look at all of his, like, track limits, they're literally like fractions of inches that he goes off. It's not that much. Like, just tidy it up the weeest bit. Pork Chops, I bet you won't gift a sub. No ballsing you right now. Okay, Hotspot's actually keeping him under a little bit of pressure here. You're right. Well, that's nice. I guess that's nice to hear. One of the few situations where a man wishes he was wrong. But another victory. And that boosts my record. A very tight midfield battle here. 7th to 3rd is all within a second. Super Ninas is very close onto Jacer Nacer, close enough to warrant a move down the inside line. And Jacer is slowly dropping down the pack here. Ninas is tough to hold back too. He's a different demon in the F2 cars, and they're continually battling it out here. And wheel to wheel for several turns. And Jacer and Super is still going wheel to wheel. A lot of respect between these two drivers. Jacko's getting a pretty damn good view at this, but if he could just get like a little bit closer, it'd be nice. There we go, that's better, Jacko. And a little bit of contact there. Ninas is not going to give way, continually wanting to go wheel to wheel. And then, oh. Jacer finding in the side pod of El Jacko there. VTech and Big Pack still battling it out here. VTech having a pretty good race, holding back a fairly quick driver of Big Pac right behind him. Big Pac goes for the outside line into turn 1, wanting that inside through turn 2. Yes, it is very unforgiving. And the stewards of the league are very unforgiving as well, with penalties. Yeah, Christmas is coming up, that is true. That is true. And VTech going just slightly off, and now he's got Super Ninas behind him. The hyper aggression of Super Ninas in Virtuosi, or however you pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced very weird. I just say Virtuosi, but I've heard it as like Virtuosi. revert to OZ or something like that. So Jin is actually showing a little bit of rust in his armor here. He's we did catch him with a couple of mistakes earlier, and Hotspot's been able to stay with him. Hotspot just put out a steady drive here, and now is on the verge of overtaking Jin for the race lead. Now, Jin of course does have that 3-second time penalty, or is it? No, it's just 3 seconds right now. This time last race he was around 9 seconds worth of penalties, so he's improving. And there you go, Ninas down the inside line here of VTech into turn 27. VTech gets ushered right into the wall, and VTech jumps up, or back, sorry, into 5th. Jacko now trying to get the position on VTech as well, and Jacko's got the inside line, and he is going to shoot down and get the overtake done, and Jacko is up to 5th place. Also, OC, which is also in French, OC. Ooh, Hotspot picking up the penalty, so that's going to change things quite a bit. Yeah, Pork, I'm terrible. If you're still in chat, I'm terrible with buying Christmas presents for my lady, because I always go off list and she hates it. And there you go, Jin with another penalty and hits the wall on top of it all. Yeah, I just like, should like give me like a list or something, then I'll just like, ah, you don't need that. Let me go buy you something else. It is tricky. There you go, Jin hard defending the inside line here. Hotspot around the outside line of turn 27, but Jin is just going to close the door, and Hotspot looks at a switchback. And no, that's not what we want. And once again, the help of DRS, Jin heavily goes to defend the inside line. But Hotspot is going to get the lead in the race. Jin fights this one back, but Hotspot has the inside line, and then Jin switches him back actually, tries to get a good run, but he's going to be on the outside here. He's got a lot of work around, and then goes right off track, and then re-overtakes off track, and then these two are going to continue this wheel to wheel all the way through sector 1, and then finally Hotspot gets the car ahead, and Jin with another time penalty. Even more tricky when she tells you she doesn't want anything. Well, that's easy, because then you can, I mean, I guess so, yeah, it is tricky. But that's like right up my alley. Because I just go and buy something. They can't hate it, because, I mean, I don't know, every girl's different, right? But, like last year, I don't even remember what my lady wanted for Christmas last year. I just went out and bought her a watch with a diamond. And then she actually just told me that she initially didn't like it, but it's grown on her ever since, and she really likes it now. So hey, what do you know? But I was supposed to get something else, and I just completely forgot and didn't get it at all. Yeah, you see, not that bad. And then I'm terrible with Christmas lists, because, and birthday lists, like, so my girlfriend knows now that when she asks me, like, what do you want for Christmas? I'll just be like, I don't know. And then, so then, that's code for, I literally don't know. Like, it's like asking, being asked what's your favorite song, like, on the spot. You have no idea what to answer. Like, you literally forget every song that you've ever listened to in your life. So, that's just what happens with me with Christmas gifts. When people ask me what I want for Christmas, I just get, like, and then every time I always answer with something that like interests me for like 2 minutes, and then people buy it for me, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I asked for that. So then she's learned from that. So now what I do, what is code, is that anytime I find something interesting that I actually want, like I'm getting a how to make, yeah, right? I'm getting like a one thing that I know for sure, that I don't remember any of the other things, which is kind of a fun surprise for me too, because I have no idea what I ask for or what I tell my girlfriend, because anytime I see something interest me that's actually interesting to me, then I will tell her, and then she'll write it down, and then like I'll get it. And there's sometimes that I like forget about what I wrote down, but I'm like actually interested in about it, but it just like slips my mind or something. So when I get the Christmas present and I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is sick. Like, yeah, one thing I know for sure is uh, a, a cookbook on hand rolled pasta. I'm really interested in that, so I want to learn how to do that. Oh, and here we go. Over the line, and both of them choose to hit different walls. Big Pac and Jacko battling it out to the bitter end. And Jacko's going to come over the line with the podium here. Big Pac is going to go to fourth. Ninas comes over in fifth. VTech with solid sixth place. Jacer Nacer will come over seventh. Will Ans going for the record in penalties. Currently sitting with 41. Yeah, no, I don't write down any of things that I want or anything. I just forget. So yeah, I just like, hey, this is cool. Like, hey, I need a new putter. I like this one. Oh yeah, and for my birthday, I got the new a black PS5 controller, because I told her that I keep dropping my one that I came in the box and I don't want to break it, so I need another one so I can drop them equally. So she got me the black one. Actually, I gave her the option. I said the red one or the black one, I don't care, because they had like the Cosmo or whatever, right? So I said the red one or the black one, I don't care. She got me the black one. And she's like, oh, do you like it? I'm like, yeah, I love it. Like, she's like, you gonna use it? I'm like, of course. I'm like, it's still in the box. I'm just like, I'm literally just collecting it. Because she doesn't know that. She hasn't asked me about it since. But there you go. The final three drivers come over the line for the final race in the F2 series. It's been a fun one. It's been a headache of a one. It's been an interesting one. It's been an entertaining one. And yeah, it's done. Kind of sad to see it go, but is what it is. And all those that are joining onto the new F2 league, let's hope she doesn't watch. Nah, she doesn't really watch. Very rarely. Very rarely. Yeah, so let's hope that everyone that does go over to the new F2 league enjoys themselves, and thank you very much for racing with Midwest when you did. But yeah, 13 penalties for Will Ans. That's got to be a record. 41 seconds worth. Jacer Nacer, only one not to get one, and I guess you can count ZGS and Nikki, but they are out of the race. But the final order for the sprint race is as follows. Hotspot with the win, Janet to win it with many penalties in second place. Jacko in third, Pac fourth, Ninas fifth, VTech sixth, Jacer Nacer seventh, JCast eighth, Knuckles ninth, Will Ans in the 10th spot, Jose Miguel 11th, ZGS 12th, Nikki in 13th, and the feature race quickly will be Jin, Jose, Big Pac, Hotspot, Super, JCast, Jacer, VTech, Jacko, ZGS, Nikki, Will Ans, and Knuckles. All those drivers finished in that one. But yes, thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you had a lovely, lovely evening with me. Be sure to tune in tomorrow once again, 6 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern, same time as usual, our Season 4 finale, and the finales are always fun. So stick around for the interviews after. We will talk to the Constructors Championship winners. If you missed it, go onto our YouTube channel and you can see our interview with Mystic Joker for the Constructors Championship. And did Hotspot do another grill the grid? Did he? Has that? I thought he was doing another one. I don't see it here. I don't think so. Not yet. But I think another one's coming. I do believe. He didn't upload it yet. Okay, so it is coming. So be sure to check that out when it is coming. Thank you, OG, for tuning in. Appreciate that, man. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. As well as thank you everyone that did tune in. as per usual. Instagram and Twitter, Midwest F1 League. Be sure to go check those out, as well as YouTube for all of our past footages. Thank you for tuning into our Twitch. I've been Crash McQueen. We've been in the Midwest F1 League. Have a good night.